So Einstein says, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. What do you say about that?
There's a saying. I don't know if it's just in Arabic or not, but let me translate it. If you want to help someone that is in need, for example, of food or of resources, then don't give them the money or give them the food. Help them to fish, teach them to fish. And that's what comes to mind, because then you're giving them a gift for a lifetime, because then they will fish and they will bring in their own food and they will be empowered, the skill that will last for them a lifetime, as opposed to giving them just something that is momentary. And I feel like even with children, they're working on a puzzle or working on solving something. It's not about doing that puzzle or building that Lego or that specific game or toy or activity, but it's giving the tools and the skills, the imagination, the creativity to be able to replicate this in so many other things. That's what comes up for me.
It's funny, the first workplace that I had was an NGO, and this was exactly what we lived by. Teach the men to fish, not to give the fish, not just give the fish, because then you help them for a lifetime. I went to Maria Montessori and to what she was doing and talking about when it came to the imagination and to the senses. Like, she really filtered this out. And when you start teaching the really young child, she teaches to focus on one thing at a time. For instance, one sense of at a time. And not to bring this mix that we now have so much, unfortunately. Like when I give them a toy, it also has different colors, different sounds, different textures, and it's all mixed there, and nothing stands out. And she emphasizes exactly this, that you first teach them by helping something to stand out. Like when she teaches, I don't know, the height, for instance, only the height changes. The color, the texture, everything stays the same within the material, for instance. And then the child can observe clearly just the height changes, and it's not misled by everything else that changes. Yeah, this is just one example. And why do I bring this up? Because she says it's like teaching children the alphabet, not the words in the dictionary. With the alphabet, it's just 20-something letters. They can create any word. When you teach them just the word, they only have that. They have the word. But when you teach them the alphabet, you actually give them a tool of creating any word that they want. That's where this one is taking me. And I'm also into this, that we give them from a very early age books, for instance, with so much fantasy and so much of the adult's imagination, instead of giving them the reality, of teaching them the reality, and then allowing them to work with that as their imagination unfolds.
Yeah, and I think within that, it's really important also to allow for the room for the creativity to then develop, as opposed to the fixed mindset of this is how you have to draw this, or this is how you have to build this, and this is how we play this game. Because creativity does flourish with practice. I'm a firm believer that creativity is something that a person can grow, and the more you practice it, the more it will flourish, and the less you practice it, it will stifle. So for a child to really flow in the creativity, they need to be given that freedom to imagine, to explore, like you said, to fantasize. That, can I draw a house with these materials? Can I, like abstract drawing, like building something out of the ordinary, and feeling comfortable and free to present that, and for that to be something that is acceptable, tolerable, to be able to have that courage to do more of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when can you do that? You can do that when you have a very strong grasp on what something really is, right? When you are fully grounded, and then you can also, it's like the plant with the roots. The plant that has really strong roots is able to lean and to play with the wind, let's say, because it's grounded, it's rooted. Otherwise, you are just lost in the wind. You are taken from here to there, and you just fly, but it's not coming from within. It's the wind that has you flying. Whereas when you are grounded, you are the one directing the flying, let's say.
Yeah. I love that. But it also, it also makes me think that for a child to be grounded, for the plant to be grounded, there will be trials and errors, and there will be mistakes, and there will be, I don't even want to call them mistakes, but trials. And I think it's the reaction of the trials is whether the child will continue to explore, or whether they will kind of take a step back and try to, just follow what is accepted. And for them to really be grounded, I think it would take us back to like safety and connection, like you said, and safety for them to be free to explore, to try things. And have all their work be, and all their play and all their sharings and all their fantasies accepted, to then find their way and to learn more.
Yeah, and this brings me to attachment. Because when you feel you are attached, when you are accepted, when someone delights in your presence, then you are able to explore. You cannot explore if you are afraid that your attachment is not going to be there when you return.